actually prefer physical books than reading on her Kindle, but I love to bring my Kindle everywhere I go because I know I want to use Kindle Unlimited. Kindle Unlimited is so worth it because books can be expensive. It is something about turning a page that can make you enjoy reading. I don't know, feeling the paper between your fingertips, between your fingers, it just is something about the feeling of that. Then when you're reading like on your iPad or your Kindle, you're just tapping, tap. Hi besties, welcome to You Against You podcast, and I'm your host, Deja Nicole. So in today's episode, which is season 4, episode number 4, which is titled This Era is Called In My Analog Era, I felt like this episode would actually be perfect, especially how a lot of people New Year's resolutions is to stay off their phone and to just enjoy life without being on our electronics and do things like hobbies and touch the grass and all of that. But if you want to know how you can start right now, you should listen to this episode. But before we start today's episode, let's just get into today's weekly updates, besties. So, first of all, mental health checkup. I would say it's good, especially we just enter a new year. Today is January 2nd while recording this, and this is going to be posted on January 4th. But my mental health is good. I'm happy. I am actually kind of in a time crunch at the moment with writing my book, but I'm going to actually stay up to actually finish it and probably write a little bit tomorrow, or if I write most of it tonight and then write some of it, like the last couple of chapters tomorrow, then I'll be good because I am busy over the weekend, but I really need it to be ready for me to send and make sure all my Canva things are ready for my formatter to use. So I have to get that all ready for her to use. But my mental health is good. It is getting cold and chilly where I'm from, so that's good. Even though I have a mixed relationship with the weather, and where I live, which is Tennessee weather is so bipolar, but it is feeling like winter, then feeling like spring or fall at the moment. So yeah, but that's my mental health checkup. So the quote of today's episode, which ties in with today's theme, and I found this quote on Pinterest. It is, "Hobbies are the love letters you write to yourself." So again, the quote of today's episode is, "Hobbies are the love letters you write to yourself." Now, today's affirmation is, "My creativity is unlimited. There is always more creativity inside of me waiting to be uncovered." And as someone who can be very crafty and wants to get into a lot of hobbies, I feel like that affirmation goes with me and my personality because I'm like a very, very creative person, always has been since I was younger. So I really like that affirmation. And again, like, the quotes and the affirmation will always be in the show notes if you ever want to like write it down and like post it somewhere in your room or something. And then the journal prompt is, what is your favorite hobby to do, and why is it your favorite hobby? For me, my favorite hobby is reading and writing. And as someone who's writing a book, like, I will not shut up about that. But, and who wants to write more books, I actually plan to write my second and third book in February and March of this year. But I love writing and I love reading. I have always loved reading, like, since I was, like, in elementary school. But as an adult, it's just better, I guess. I don't know. Because it's like you read different books when you get older throughout the years. Oh my gosh. And me growing up, from like elementary, I loved the Junie B. Jones series. Because one of my teachers, I think it was my first grade teacher, she would read it to us. I loved the Little House of the Prairie series, and I remember checking that out in the library to read on my own. And then also my second grade teacher would read that to us. Another book, I love Dork Diaries. I really love Dork Diaries. I never really got into like the Divergent, Hunger Games, Twilight. I want to get into those now as an adult. But I love Die Wimpy Kid. I don't know if y'all read the Captain Underpants series. I read that. I read so many books. There was one with like a mouse like on the cover, and I don't know, but he had like a yellow sweater, and like he had like a white shirt underneath. And how I know it was a white shirt, because it like had a white collar popping out. But if you know what series it is, let me know down in the comments. But I like always loved reading, and then writing. I discovered that when I was in middle school. Like that wasn't something like I discovered creative writing as an adult and be like, oh, I'm gonna like write a book. That was something I did, but I did write on Wattpad in middle and high school, and I have some books that are not finished on my Wattpad, but I did. And creative writing has always been something that I loved, and then I like doing arts and crafts, cutting things up, taping, or gluing things together. So those are some of my hobbies that I really love. So let me know, what are your hobbies that you love. Now, you can find You Against You podcast on Instagram and TikTok, which is You Against You by Deja. Those will be in the show notes always. If you're watching this on YouTube, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. If you have any video ideas and you're watching this on YouTube, comment those down below. If you're listening to this on Spotify, don't forget to leave a rating and a comment. And if you are listening to this on Apple Podcasts, don't forget to leave a rating and a review. Those really help push out my podcast to new listeners. But let's just get into today's episode. So today's episode is going to be like something quick, just because it's not really like a lot of key points I'm going to talk about. I have literally on my iPad where I keep all of my keep my podcast notes for each episode under my Notions tab page, and I literally have bullet points. But I'm going to talk about analog. What does analog mean? I know if you're a doom scroller, or you just been on social media, especially on TikTok, you have probably heard that since the beginning of December of last year, of 2025, or even maybe late around like Thanksgiving. And you want to know, like, what does that mean? Why is everybody talking about that they want to go analog this next upcoming year? So analog is the opposite of instant. It is tactical, imperfect, and beautifully slow. So technically, to put that in a better word form, because I got this definition off of Google, it's you enjoying life. You are not doing things at a fast-paced speed, and you're just taking your time. You are actually enjoying what's around you and paying attention to the small details that surround you. You can be outside going on a walk, and you probably never noticed before, and then you notice when you stop to tie your shoe and to get like a sip of water, if you bring a water bottle, that there's a tree that's in front of like a house if you walk in your neighborhood, and in that tree there's a bird nest, and you see the bird feeding its baby birds. So basically it's literally to just slow down. So how can I or you, because this is a question I feel like you can ask yourself while listening to this episode. And if you ever want to come back to this episode ever again, you can always ask yourself this question. But how can I live a more analog lifestyle in 2026? We are on the second day of 2026. Please do not try to do everything all in 1 month. January is just like a trial run. February, your trial ends. And then March, it's time to go. So trial starts, trialed in, and then you're ready to go. Just remember that. So one thing is to read more physical books than digital. As someone who actually prefer physical books than reading on her Kindle, but I love to bring my Kindle everywhere I go because I know I want to use Kindle Unlimited. You know, Kindle Unlimited is so worth it because books can be expensive. It is something about turning a page that can make you enjoy reading. I don't know, feeling the paper between your fingertips, between your fingers, you know, it just is something about the feeling of that. Then when you're reading like on your iPad or your Kindle, you're just tapping, tap, tap, tap. So if you are someone who has a Kindle, there's nothing wrong reading on a Kindle. I am someone who reads on a Kindle, but as someone who has more books than the many books that I have on my Kindle, I really love turning pages. I usually use my Kindle if I don't feel like buying a book on Amazon and it's on Kindle Unlimited and I can get that. Or if it's like a ARC read, because I love reading ARC reads from authors and I have to download it on my Kindle. That is like the only time I would like use my Kindle. But I'm usually like a physical book girly, and there is pros and cons to both, but that is something I feel like if you are more of a Kindle girly and you want to switch with physical books, try to get the physical books that's on your Kindle, and it does make a difference. I love turning pages. Like, I don't know, just grabbing a book, going outside and reading, it just feels much better than grabbing my Kindle and reading outside with my Kindle. I don't know. I don't know if it's just me, but if you agree, let me know down in the comments. Now, the next thing is writing things down. Like I said, we are in the era of digital. Everything digital. People put their to-do lists on their phones. People put their shopping lists on their phones. We do everything digitally. Calendar, planning, notes, everything digital. Me personally, I hate taking notes on my iPad. I have my iPad for games, but I and like to take like keep track like of Notion, but I literally hate taking notes on my iPad. I would rather write them down or even type, but mostly likely you write them down because I feel like when you're writing things down, it is convenient and you can retain the information more. With shopping lists, I do type them on my phone because it's easy like that, and I might forget the shopping list if I write them on a piece of paper. But that's with shopping lists. But I love, 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 love writing down my to-do list. Something about writing down my to-do list, it just, I don't know, every morning, because I write my to-do list every morning. I get my cup of coffee, I play some music, and I write down my to-do list, and it just feels so good to write down my to-do list. I don't know. I don't know if it's just me. I have so many notebooks too, so I just like writing things down. If I have an idea, I don't type it. I usually write it down because it's just, I don't know, it's better to retain the information. And something about writing, especially with a pencil, I love writing with pencil more than pen because I might make a mistake. So when I do that, I just really like doing that. And like I said, you can retain more information when you write things down or just anything when you write things down than when you're typing it out. The next thing is go see a movie. I feel like streaming services really ruin this for us because we wait until they are on streaming services to go watch the movie. But I can also see if movie tickets prices are expensive. But if you have a DVD player, and many DVD players are coming back, all these things are coming back. Put a DVD in and watch a movie. That's why I'm like so happy with my mini DVD player, because I can just put on a movie and watch it. And now I'm looking for like other DVDs to purchase one day to watch, because I'm going to use that thing. And then like I do go to the movies. I'm actually will go to the movies a lot more, because like my boyfriend loves going to the movies. So just going to the movies, getting a snack, it is something about that seems calming, and you don't have to worry about distractions. And with like using streaming services, most of the time you have to use internet. So what if your internet is down? What if it's down? You can't watch anything on streaming services, So, because we rely a lot on our electronics and on the internet, but what if it's down? Can you watch a movie? Or even get TV shows? TV shows come in DVD packs, So, but can you enjoy that if the internet is down? You're gonna get so many error messages saying we can't play this at the moment. A eruption like occurred, or error occurred here. So just please wait and try again later. So when you're like, if you have a mini DVD player and you want to have a little like self-care day, put in a DVD on the DVD player, make you some popcorn, make you a nice little drink. It can be an alcoholic drink, it can be a non-alcoholic drink, whatever it is, and watch it. Or go ask some friends, if you're single, and go see the movies, see what's out there, and then go. Or if you are in a relationship, talk to your partner and be like, hey, do you want to go see a movie? Like, I saw Zootopia on Thanksgiving Day. That movie was so good, like really good. And I went with my boyfriend and his friends, and we went to go see it, and that was like the best movie I have ever saw this year. But even if it's a movie that you haven't seen a trailer of, go see it, because it feels so much better when you go see a movie than watching it on streaming services. And I kid you not, I feel like streaming services prices would go up probably this summer of this year. So yeah. The next thing is take photos just of you, or if you're out and about, not of you, but take photos just for you. That's what it is. But like we're saying, like, it can be of you, it can be with a group of friends, it can be with a partner. Polaroid cameras has always been a thing. I don't think they never not been a thing. I used to have a Polaroid camera, or you can just literally take the picture of your phone on your phone and go get them print out that way too if you don't have a Polaroid camera. But pictures tell a story. I don't know where I heard that. I think I heard it in a movie. But pictures tell a story, and one day someone's going to look at those pictures and they're going to realize what the story is. And it's you making memories when you take pictures, because you got to realize that you would never relive that moment that you live, like that you're going through. So why not take a picture of it and then print out the pictures? If you did use on your phone, like take the pictures on your phone and make a scrapbook of it. Scrapbooking is so big right now, and if that is something you want to try, then go try that. The next thing is do something more artistic. So this can be painting, this can be coloring, this can be drawing, this can be pottery. Pottery is so big right now. Watercoloring painting is so right now. Painting in general is big right now. Writing is big right now, All these hobbies that I'm saying out my mouth is so big right now. I want to get into painting. Actually, probably next week, this week coming up, because it's Friday, I'm going to probably water paint. I want to do a craft when I come back. And even though it'd be a couple days late, I'm still gonna like show it on my TikTok. And it is like these punch hole cards, and it's a craft. You literally can paint it and then write like your goals and like make them as a punch cards. If you've seen it on TikTok, you know what I'm talking about. But do something artistic. Being an artist, everyone has that in them. A lot of people don't see the potential in them because they don't believe in themselves, but everyone has that in them. And when you're doing something with your hands, it can really keep your mind busy. Then, oh, let me go on TikTok. Let me see what's the new trend out there, you know? So, yeah. The next one is play a record. I have about 7 records, vinyls, right now. And then I always I like to play music on my record player a lot. And I got like 2 for Christmas, which were Michael Jackson. And I'm getting another one for my boyfriend because he told me. So that was like a surprise that he told me that I'm getting. But I love vinyls. I used to have another record player, and then I sold that and then got rid of my records and sold them. But then when I saw it, how it was, booming again, I bought a record player when I was working, and I bought some records, and I want to grow my record collection because there's a lot of records that I want, and I just feel like putting something like a big disc on a little turntable is just something about it. I don't know how to explain it, but it's just something about that that just feel very nostalgic. And even though they really haven't really gone died out and stuff, like record players have been a thing since I was like in middle and high school, because that's when I had my first record player. And it's just like one generation enjoyed it, and the next generation enjoyed it. Now the next generation enjoyed it, and then we enjoyed it. I remember I saw a TikTok of basically a mother, and she wouldn't let have her kids have no electronics. And this is good. And her daughter had a record player. She would look like she was like 10 or 11, maybe 12, and she had a record player. And I was like, something about that just felt calming. So yeah. The next one is get tech out your room. So this really means is try to find something to replace the tech. Yes, we have laptops that we can actually be productive, but a lot of people use their phones for alarms, and we have so many alarms that are popular now, like the hatch alarm or any type of sunrise alarm. I will put down the sunrise alarm that I use in the show notes if you want to go buy it for yourself, and I'll probably put it on my LTK and then put that in my LTK, like my LTK link, so if you want to buy that. But I have this sunrise alarm clock, and I forgot what the brand is called. I got it from Amazon, but I really like it. I really love it because I wasn't going to pay almost $200 for the hatch alarm. So I paid 20 something dollars for the alarm clock that I have right now, and I really love it. I have 2 sunny angels on it, but it is something that's different because when you have your phone somewhere near you, you have to get up to stop that alarm on your phone. Then you get distracted by checking notifications and all of that jazz. So if you use a traditional alarm clock or a sunrise alarm clock, you wouldn't get distracted so easily after getting up, and you can just start your morning routine. The next thing is join a club within your community. And when I mean club, I mean book club, art club, pottery club. There's literally clubs for everything, or start your own. I know once I get my license, that is something I want to do, is actually start a book club and see how that goes, and also join a few book clubs because I love reading, and as someone who wants to make friends, that is a goal of mine. And when you are out there seeing what else is going on, you are more likely present, which is my next one, is staying present. Because when you are present, you can actually enjoy life for better, and you don't have to realize what has already happened in someone else's life, because you have to realize social media content is not real-time content. They might tell you it's real-time content unless they're going live though, but mostly 99.5% of the content that you watch is not real-time content. So you have to realize that. And I feel like a lot of people don't realize that because we are being told, oh, this is real time content. No, it's not. You edit, you have to do this and that. So like you have to really want to stay present. And when you stay present, you can really enjoy life more and for the better. So yeah. So, besties, that is it for today's episode. I really hope that you liked today's episode. Like I said, it's kind of a short episode, but I did say last week episode that I was going to do an episode about hobbies, and this is the episode. So, yeah. So, again, the quote of today's episode is, hobbies are the love letters you write to yourself. Today's affirmation is, my creativity is unlimited. There is always more creativity inside of me waiting to be uncovered. The journal prompt is, what is your favorite hobby to do? And again, you can follow You Against You podcast on Instagram and TikTok, which is youagainstyouPod.byDeja. I will put those links in the show notes, and I'm actually posting more on the social media, so go check that out. If you're watching this on YouTube, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And if you have any episode ideas, you can also comment those as well. If you're listening to this on Spotify, don't forget to leave a rating and review. And if you're listening to this, a rating and comment. So if you're listening to this on Spotify, don't forget to leave a rating and comment. And if you're listening to this on Apple Podcasts, don't forget to leave a rating and review. I kind of mixed those up, but those really help get my podcast pushed out to new listeners. So yeah, and if you want to follow me personally on my personal social medias, my YouTube is Deja Nicole. That's Deja_Nicole, or is it, actually no, that's my Instagram, but it's Deja Nicole with 3 E's if you want to look up my YouTube username, because we have usernames on YouTube. And then, but yeah. And then if you want to follow me on Insta or TikTok, they are Deja_Nicole_. And then both my author page and book talk and bookstagram will also be in the show notes down below. But I really do hope that you like today's episode, besties. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Remember, it's you against you, not you against the world. And I see y'all in next week episode. Bye.